This session of English, we are going to start with our first chapter, that is Exploring Symbols. Unit 1, Exploring Symbols. Now symbols, as you know that we use symbols for many things, right? For many things we use symbols. Now symbols especially are used in poetries, in stories. Okay, so we are going to talk about some poetries and stories in this chapter. Okay, this chapter is very interesting. Now for example, just for example, if I say that, oh my God, you are as strong as lion. So what symbol I am giving you? I am giving you symbol of lion. But what I am trying to say? I am trying to say that you are strong as lion. Right? So for such things we use different symbols. So in this chapter we are going to learn about one poem and we are going to learn about stories and detailed life of Rabindranath Tagore. Now students, Rabindranath Tagore, okay, he has written many poems now, and he even has written our national anthem, that is Jana Gana Mana, right? So even he won the Nobel Prize. Now it's not easy to get a Nobel Prize. In every country, every noble person, right, gets this Nobel Prize. It's not easy to get it, right? So from India, Rabindranath Tagore got Nobel Prize. Many other got, but Rabindranath Tagore was one who got the Nobel Prize. Now, when he was very small, right, when he was 8 years old, right now we are in 8th standard. I am talking about 8 years old. When Rabindranath Tagore was 8 years old, he started writing his poetry. When he started writing his poetry, when he was just 8 years old. Okay, now since childhood he was having a lot of interest in reading and writing, right? So that makes him a great person, right? Now after that, when he was 16 years old, when he was 16 years old, okay, what he did, he published his very first poetry. Okay, what he did, he published his very first poetry. Now, as I told you that he got Nobel Prize, but it's important to know that in which year he got Nobel Prize. Students, in 1913, okay, in 1913 he got a Nobel Prize, and it's very important for a country, that in a country such great person, in for example, we should feel proud that in India such great personalities are there who has received such Nobel Prize. So in 1930 he received Nobel Prize. Now where he was born? Now students, Rabindranath Tagore was born in Kolkata. Okay, he was born in Kolkata in 1861. When? In 1861. You must know that he has also written our national anthem, that is Jana Gana Mana. Right? Now, one more important thing. So whenever he used to publish his articles or whenever he used to publish his poem, he never used his real name. But afterwards he started using. But before that he never used his real name. He always used his pen name. Pen name means the childhood name, we can say, right? So he always used to use his pen name, that is Bhanu Simha. What he used to use? Bhanu Simha. Bhanu Simha means sun lion. Okay, so this is also kind of symbols, right? So in his poem or in his writing, he always used a lot of symbols. So one of his poem we are going to read today, and in that poem there are lot of symbols. Okay, so let's start with the poem. Now, this poetry is a beautiful poem. Okay, it's written by Rabindranath Tagore, and the name of the poem is Where the Mind is Without Fear. What is the name? Where the mind is without fear. Now, you people might have some or other fear in your mind. Even I am having. Even I am having. So even you people might having many fears in your mind. That what if I'll fail in examination? What if I cannot do this? What if I cannot do that? For me, if I'll take my example, what many fears? Even I am having many fears, right? What if I cannot achieve my goals? What if I cannot achieve my dreams? Right? So we have many fears in our mind. What if I'll met with an accident? What if I'll die? Right? So we have many such fears in our mind. What if there is ghost in our house? Oh my god. So we have many fears in our mind. If we have fears in our mind, then our mind will not work properly. Our mind will not achieve the goal properly because there is a lot of fear. If there is fear in your mind, you will be scared to try something new. You will not try anything new because there is always fear before starting something new. Just for example, you might be having fear that what if I'll not understand anything in the lecture? What if I'll not be able to write in examination? If this nervousness, if this fear is there in your mind, of course, you will not be able to write. You don't have that confidence, right? So what you need to do, what we need to do is we need to boost up our confidence and we need to say that yes, I can, yes, I will, and yes, I definitely will, right? Fears are there, but we need to overcome that. We need to think positive, right? Fears are always negative, right? So we should think positive and we should overcome our fear, right? So what he is trying to say, that where the mind is without fear, when there is no fear in mind, okay, then at that time the head is held high. Means at that time our head is high. Head is held high. High. So here he is talking about success. Okay, it means when the mind is without fear, the head is held high, we can achieve our success, we can achieve our goal, we can achieve our aim. Okay, we know our objective, that what we need to do in life, so we can easily achieve it without fear. If the mind is without fear, if the mind is free, right? So here he has used one symbol, that is head is held high. It means it is a symbol of what? Success. Okay, now in the next stanza he is saying that where knowledge is free. Okay, where knowledge is free. Now here, when knowledge is free, it means what? It means if your mind is without fear. Now if it is without fear, if the mind is without fear, there is a lot of space in our mind. Yes or no? We have good ideas, we have good thoughts, we have positive things to do, we have many things to think, right? So we can get more knowledge. So at that time knowledge will be free. Why? Because there is no fear in our mind, there is no negativity. All in your mind is just knowledge. Okay, but when it is possible? If there is no fear in your mind. Isn't it beautiful? Very beautiful. Now next, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Now students, narrow domestic walls, as I told you, narrow domestic walls. Now, what it shows, it shows lack of unity. It shows lack of unity. It shows lack of brotherhood. Now, there are many countries in our world, right? But there are domestic walls. Rabindranath Tagore is trying to say that we need to stop these domestic walls. We need to have the feelings of brotherhood. Means we must have the feeling of brotherhood with other person. There should be no domestic walls, right? Have you heard about borders, bordering countries, right? Now sometimes the relation of any country will not be good with other country. Just for example, India and Pakistan relations are not good. So what it creates, it shows the domestic walls between two countries, right? So we need to stop it. It's not about only country, it's about people also. For example, if I am not talking with someone, right, because of any reason, right, any personal reason, right, if I am not talking to someone, it means what I am doing, I am creating or I am generating domestic walls between us. There will be distance between us. I'll not talk to her or he'll or she'll not talk to me, right? So this is what domestic walls. We need to stop it. We need to talk to the people. We need to share our ideas. We need to share our thoughts. We need to have positive attitude for everybody. Why to create or why to generate domestic walls? Not only between countries but also for people. This is also for people. Why there is domestic wall? Because there is lack of unity. There is lack of brotherhood. Right? So we need to improve this. So here also narrow domestic wall is used as symbol. Symbol for what? Symbol for lack of unity. Okay. So here Rabindranath has explored many symbols. Right? Now in the next stanza he is saying that where words come out from the depth of truth. Depth of truth means from within, from inside our heart. Depth of truth. So here also depth of truth is a symbol. Depth of truth. It's a symbol of what? Of, as I told you, inner soul. Right? Now, whatever we do or whatever we whatever words come out from us, it should be from our inner soul, right? And it should be truth, right? It means it shows that we always have to stand for truth, or we always have to stand for true events, right? We always need to talk about true things. Right? We should not believe or we should not go for any negative, we should not go behind any negative things or negative ideas or negative thoughts. Right? Our ideas, our thoughts, our inner soul, our words should be full of truth. Okay students, so here depth of truth is also a symbol that is used for inner soul. Okay. Now, in next line, in next stanza, he is saying that where tireless striving stretches its arm towards perfection. Now, sometimes you feel very tired. Sometimes here, Striving, it means with meaning is given in the textbook, that is cheerless. Sometimes you feel very cheerless, you don't have energy, right? You don't have excitement to do something, you feel very tired, you feel lazy, you feel cheerless. So what he is saying, that such activities or such thoughts make us imperfect, right? It don't show, it doesn't show us the path of perfection, right? By using such actions, by using such thoughts, we are becoming imperfect, right? So here also he is using symbol, that is tireless striving. Now in next line, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into a dreary desert sand of dead habits. Now here, dreary desert, it means here he is talking about family affairs. What he is talking about? Family affairs. Now sometimes students, you need to do something creative, or you need to do something good, but sometimes your relatives, your friends are not allowing you to do so, right? They might be jealous of you, or they might not want you to do so. They don't want to achieve you such goal, right? So whenever such family affairs took place, right, it's a dead habit, right? We should not listen them if it is negative, right? Sometimes if you are doing something good, for example, if you love dancing or if you love painting, but your family members or your relation, means your family affairs, your relatives used to demotivate you, that don't do this is of no use, right? So they used to tell us frequently that what kind of work you're doing, this is of no use. These are negative comments. If you like to do something, right, and which is good for you, and you're good in it, right, and that makes you happy, then don't listen to anybody, right? So that is what he has compared it to family affairs, okay? And even he, in the next stanza, he is saying, where the mind is led forward by into ever widening, okay, ever widening thought and action. Now if we will not listen to all these obstacles, if we will not follow all these obstacles, then our thoughts, our mind is ever widening, okay? It will be wide, right? Our thoughts, our ideas, our knowledge will increase. It will be in a wide form, right? But if we will listen, if we have obstacles, obstacles like fear, obstacles like fear, obstacles like lack of unity, okay, obstacles like walls, domestic walls, obstacle like tireless, obstacles like when you feel tired, okay, or cheerless, obstacles like last, that is family affairs, okay? Such obstacles, when we don't have such obstacles in our mind, when we don't have fear of all these things, right, in our mind, then we can achieve our goal, right, and we can move towards our success, right? Because the knowledge is free, the mind is without fear. You have many fears. If I in your mind, if I do this, what they will say, or what society will say, right? If you'll focus on that, you will be far from your goal, right? You cannot achieve it because you have other things in your mind, right? You're far from your dreams. Your focus is not on your dreams but on your fears. Right? So what you need to do? You need to overcome your fears. You need to overcome the obstacles that are coming in your way. Okay? And you need to free your mind from all these fears. Right? So he has used a lot of symbols in this poem. So this poem is very beautiful. I hope you understood this poem. Now, other than this, in this chapter there are many activities, right? So this poem is activity 2. Now in other activities it is also they have also described that not only in poems but in stories as well there are many symbols, right? We can use many symbols in stories as well, right? So I'm going to tell 2 stories. Okay, one is about fox and rabbit and one is about Akbar and Birbal, right? You have to tell me that what kind of symbols is given in. So here also symbols are given. For fox, symbols are given clever, even overconfidence, right? So such symbols are used for fox here, right? So that is what symbols. We are doing, if I am saying the story, I am adding many symbols in the story. So that is what we are exploring, the symbols. So this is all about symbols. Okay, so I hope you understood the story. Now we will move on to next story, that is of Akbar and Birbal. Now, the fox and the rabbit. Now, very beautiful story. Now, this story is of a fox, a very clever fox. Right? Here the fox is what? Clever fox. Now, but he always used to brag for his cleverness. What? He always used to brag for what? For his cleverness. He used to show to others that I am very clever. He used to do? He used to show, right? He has overconfidence. He used to show off. To whom? To others, that I am very clever, right? No other animals are as clever as me, right? So he has the habit of bragging. Right? Now, one day he said to rabbit that I am so clever. What he said? Again he started bragging in front of rabbit that I am very clever. I am so clever. Now, he said that I know 100 ways to escape from enemies. Escape means, fox said that I have 100 ways to escape from enemies. Escape means chupna. Right? In short, he was trying to say, the fox was trying to say that no one can catch me. If even hunters used to come, or even any person used to come to find me, I can escape easily. To hunt me, I can escape easily. I have 100 ways. So this is what? This is overconfidence. Why you need to brag others for this? Right? So this is what? Bragging. Right? So what fox was doing? Fox was saying to rabbit that I am very clever and I can do this and I can do that and I have 100 ways to escape from enemies. Now here rabbit is also very smart. What he did? What rabbit did? What it did? Rabbit just listened to fox and said, wow. The rabbit said, you have 100 ways. I have only one way to escape from enemies. Now here what rabbit said? It's okay if you have 100 ways, but I have only one way that I can escape from enemies. Okay. Now the fox said that only one way. Now you need to listen to me. You need to learn many ways from me. I will teach you many other ways to escape from enemies. Like I have many ways, many more ways. I know many other ways to escape from enemy. Again he was bragging because now he is very happy that rabbit knows only one way to bragging while I know 100 ways of escaping. Right? He was means rabbit was knowing only one way to escape while fox is knowing 100 ways to escape. Right? So here fox is very happy and he is very like he's in overconfidence that you need to learn from me. Now just at that moment, you know what happened? Some group of hunters, or we can say that pack of hunters, right? The pack of hunters, they reached to that particular place. Okay, a pack of hunters reached to that particular ways. Now what happened? Fox has 100 ways to escape. They cannot catch fox. Is it? No. They came there. Now here fox was trying one way, second way, third way, and he was so confused that he cannot complete his any one way. He cannot find any one way to escape. He was so confused. He tried first way. He tried second way. Right? He tried third way. Right? Immediately, what happened, you know? He failed. And what rabbit did, as he was knowing only one way to escape, he suddenly leaped into his hole. Right? Of course, rabbit used to live means used to leap under the hole. So there was only one way, right? So suddenly, what rabbit did? Rabbit leaped down his hole and he called back, and the fox was caught by the hunters. Now, and after that, he told fox that this was my plan. What? This was my plan. You were having 100 plans. I was having only one plan, and that plan was this plan, and it worked. Right? Now it means here rabbit was not bragging, right, of his he was not of his cleverness. Rabbit was also clever, but he was not bragging. He was just telling that I have only one reason. You have 100 reasons, I am fine with it. Right? Now the fox thought first of the way, second way, third way, and he failed. And what happened? Hunters caught him. Right? So here, what is the moral of the story? You should not brag for anything. If you're good enough, it's okay, don't show off. If you're smart, it's okay, don't show your smartness to others. If you're clever, it's okay, don't show your cleverness to others. Okay, this is what? This is overconfidence, and with this overconfidence, you will always fail. Confidence is good, but overconfidence is not good. Okay, so here are also many symbols given by Akbar and Birbal. Now you might have heard many stories of Akbar and Birbal, but this is quite interesting story. Okay, now once Emperor Akbar, he had a dream. What kind of dream? You know, that he lost all his teeth except one. Only one tooth was remaining, other all he lost. So what he did, he called all the courtiers or the astrologers who used to study our past and future, who used to study our future, who used to study our present. Okay, so what he called many astrologers, and he told that astrologers to interpret this dream, to speak something about this dream. Right? So what he did, you know, he called astrologers. Now what astrologers told about this dream, you know, they told that there is something wrong. You lost all the teeth, but only one tooth is remaining. It means something bad is going to happen, and they interpret that all your family members will die. So of course, if by hearing such interpretation, right, Of course, anyone will be upset. In the same way, even Akbar felt very upset by this dream that my all family members will die. Right? So he felt very sad, and he sent all the astrologers without any reward because he was not happy with the answer. He wanted something interesting. So next day, Birbal came to visit the courtyard. Visit the courtyard, right? So there, he asked the same question to Birbal. Now, as you know, Birbal was very wise, right? So he asked the same question to Birbal, that I lost all my teeth in dreams, but only one tooth was remaining. Now you know how Birbal interpreted it. Birbal told that you will fulfill all your wish and you will live longer life than any other person, right, or any other people. Okay, it means both are same. The meaning of both interpretation are same, but the way of saying is different. Birbal told in very good manner that you will live or you will achieve everything, you will live or you will fulfill a good life than any other person, right? He didn't tell anything about his family members. What other interpretation was that all your family members will die before you. So this of course hurts. But if someone is saying that you will live a good life, you will fulfill everything in your life, and you will achieve something great in your life, and you will live long, right? So this you are not comparing with anybody, right? Here you are not including family, means here Birbal has not included family member in this, but indirectly the thing was same, that he is going to live long, but the way of saying was completely different. Now, so what you need to remember is, right, we means what is the moral of the story? Now sometimes we need to speak, but we don't speak it right, we don't means we don't frame it correctly. So that is why that interpretation, whatever you are trying to say, could not reach to that person. That person will not be happy or will not be able to understand what you are trying to say. But if you will say in a good manner, then of course that person will understand you, that person will be happy. So in the same way, Akbar was very happy by listening this, okay, and even gave reward to whom? To Birbal. Okay, students. Now in the same way, even you might having many interpretations in your life, right? Many interpretations, but you need to think that what to do, when to do, how to do, and what to speak, right? So that you can also achieve your goal properly. Now, as our last story was about dreams, right? As Akbar had a dream. So, can you tell me that dreams are symbols? Yes, dreams are symbols. Now, sometimes we have, means we see a lot, means there are a lot of dreams when we are sleeping, while we are sleeping. Now, all dreams cannot be true, but there are some symbols in that dream, right? So, whatever dreams are that is also what? A part of a symbol. So in this chapter we have learned about one poem, that is Where the Mind is Without Fear, two stories, that is The Fox and the Rabbit, and the story of Akbar and Birbal. I hope you understood the chapter about exploring symbols, right? Symbols are everywhere, right? Whatever we are saying has some symbols, right? So that is what? That is, we are exploring what? We are exploring symbols, okay? So in next session we are going to start with next chapter. Till that, keep learning, stay home, stay safe, bye bye, and take care of yourself.